Good morning, everybody. Andy Ross here, America's Health Insurance Today, where we bring your health insurance questions from around the country to you. We answer your questions. Great to be here. Hope everybody had a great week. We're going to jump right into the questions today. Can you please explain COBRA law and HIPAA law? And I certainly can. COBRA, and it is a law, is when you leave your employer and they need to offer you COBRA insurance. Very important that your employer does that. Now, I don't want you to get COBRA insurance. It's expensive. What I want you to do is get individual coverage. It should be much less, unless you have a pre-existing health condition that is such that you cannot get regular health insurance. So I don't want you to say no to the company where you're working and say, no, I decline the COBRA. What I want you to do is hustle. I want you to go get the insurance. And then ultimately, if you do have pre-existing health conditions, you can then 18 months later, and it varies from state. Some states are 28 and 36 months, depending on if it's a divorce or the intricacies of the law. But you have 63 days. That's the key. Between leaving work, then the 63 days, I'm sorry, let me correct myself. The 63 days is that once you've had COBRA for 18 months continuous, you have a 63-day window by law where you get guarantee issue from the insurance company, no matter what your health condition is. That's the important thing. So let's recap that answer. I want to make sure everyone's clear. It's a very important question. When you leave your job, whether you were fired, you left on your own accord, it doesn't matter. What matters is that they offer you COBRA, and offering you COBRA, now your premium's going to go way up. The reason it's going to go way up, or can go up, up or way up, is because usually they've been paying for 50%, maybe more. Now you're going to have to pay 100%. Remember this, and this is a very, very important point. I'm passionate about this point. If you're young and healthy, you don't need COBRA. You're not building anything with COBRA. It's only 18 months. Ultimately, there's no relationship being established because you have to start a new one over with a new company. So you're better served not getting the COBRA, going out and getting insurance in your market, and building a history. And in the end, let me make a suggestion that when you go find that new job, hang on to the individual coverage that you've retained, because in the end, the reason is that I'd rather use that as a negotiating tool and say, look, I don't want to change insurances if this job doesn't work out. I'm building trust with the company I have. If you're 40 years old, and in this question there was no age, but this is a general answer, is that you may develop a pre-existing health condition and not be able to get insurance. That would concern me. So the best answer is get your own individual coverage, hang on to it, use it as a negotiating tool, and never let it go. That's the answer there. Next question. Can you please explain HMO versus PPO? Why is HMO more expensive? I'm really surprised. I thought HMO was for the less fortunate and underprivileged people. Excellent question. Comes up quite a bit. I've answered that one before. I'm going to answer that again today. HMO happens to be more expensive than PPO. The reason is, first of all, with HMO, everything is a copay. There is no deductible. So the financial exposure to you is less, and it's more to the insurance company. The next thing is that there's contracts with the HMO, the network, and they're great contracts. They're negotiated contracts, and in the end, those contracts cost money. The other thing is on an HMO, and HMO stands for Health Maintenance Organization. PPO is Preferred Provider Organization. So health maintenance versus preferred provider. PPO, 95% are going to take it. HMO, very small network. My problem also, as long as we're on the subject, is that, God forbid anybody needs a particular person, the best, let's say, brain surgeon in their state. You're not going to get that on an HMO. An HMO maybe has 5% of what a PPO network has. Now, the positives of an HMO are everything's a copay. We said that. The next thing is it covers everything: ambulance ride, mental health, vision, dental, laboratory, x-ray, radiology. Everything is a copay. There's no deductible. So if you're asking also how I feel personally about HMO versus PPO, I think there's a place for both. I think a lot of people in the United States, especially in California, Colorado, Kaiser Permanente is a big name in those markets, and it's around Florida. So the point is that great HMO company. They're great. So there's a place for HMO. I sell HMO to my prospects, customers where it's needed. And the bottom line is HMO is more expensive. The myth about it being for poor people is absolutely not true. We've got about 1 minute before our next break. And let's see if we can't squeeze in another question real quick. What is a high-risk pool? I've heard you say that before, Andy. I'm not sure if I need it. What is a high-risk pool? High-risk pool is for the uninsurable. Not every state in the union offers a high-risk pool, and you need to check it out. Get individual insurance. Go ahead and apply for individual insurance in your state. Find out if you can get covered. But if your last resort is you go to the high-risk pool. If they have it, great. You'll have to pay the extra money. If not, go and get a job. Have them cover your benefits. Not a bad way to go. So it varies from state to state. But anyway, I want to say that that was a great question. We're going to be going to a commercial message. We'll be back in a minute. Thank you, and we'll be right back. Thank you.